delegitimize anti-regime voices in their own countries, especially China, as the Floyd protests serve as a welcome diversion from the 31st anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre and public outcry in Hong Kong, where demonstrators are out in the streets opposing a new national security law that would allow the Chinese government to crack down on anyone conducting what it considers seditious or terrorist activities.
Tear gas once again shrouds the streets of Hong Kong. Protests returned after China pushed for a strict new national security law for the territory under cover of the coronavirus. The national security law is even more damaging and harmful than the extradition bill last year introduced by the government. And now, when time is running out in Hong Kong, we would describe now as the beginning of the end. We don't have enough time, but we still need to continue the fight. The legislation that gives Beijing more surveillance powers is supported by Hong Kong's pro-Chinese legislators and local security chiefs. Beijing's rubber stamp assembly is expected to approve the law next week.
Another slapdown to America was this plandemic. CNBC's money guy, Jim Cramer, said the pandemic led to one of the greatest wealth transfers in history. He said the bigger the business, the more it moves the major averages, and that matters because this is the first recession where big business is coming through virtually unscathed. But who are the businesses that are being destroyed and beat down so far they may never be able to come back
Mom
again?
and Pop.
Small businesses. They're the ones that were hurt. They're the ones that were destroyed and ruined. The wealthy are getting much wealthier, and the poor are now struggling to survive. Many workers are losing hope of ever getting back their jobs again. Hope has given way to an urgent need to pay bills because unemployment benefits still haven't come through for many people. People have negotiated with their mortgage lenders to defer payments on their homes, but the deferral won't last long. The scope of the devastation left by the viral pandemic is distressingly clear to millions who'd hoped for a quick return to their jobs. They may not be going back anytime soon. With many businesses reopening, the government announced Friday that contrary to expectations of further layoffs, the economy added 2.5 million jobs in May, and the unemployment rate fell. But the harsh reality is that last month's rehirings aren't expected to continue at the same pace. 42% of the layoffs caused by the pandemic could become permanent job losses. Many businesses, from tech startups to small shops and big retailers, may not survive the loss of revenue despite federal rescue aid. But hey, in Portland, the protest march was aided by a llama named Caesar as a morale booster. Participants in the Portland, Oregon Black Lives Matter protest and march were comforted to see one participant's emotional support llama joining the demonstration. Protesters said the llama was a morale booster. The emotional instability and mentally fragile in this country now make it so very easy for our enemies to divide us and take us down. When our own corporate media lies to us day after day, it's no wonder we live in a land of snowflakes and emotional train wrecks, walking the streets in every major city of our country. It's going to be okay. I've got my own emotional support sock puppet. Don't worry, Steve. It's going to be okay. Just smile and be happy. Thank you. Thanks, emotional sock puppet.